Anderson. We do have some new people here this morning. I want to properly welcome him back. We have missed you.
So I have to start off and say, I'm sorry, Tracy. They gave me a handheld. I'll do my best to stay in one place.
Right.
So we're going to do this once. So I want to make sure we all get it right the first time. How are you all today?
Great.
Okay, Steph said okay, so we'll let that go. So, recently, a lot has been going on in my life, right? As I'm sure most of us, if not all of us, can agree that things happen. And I've come to a very interesting place where I look forward to retiring. Now follow me for a second, because I think the ultimate goal, at least for me, the ultimate goal for me as a minister or a practitioner is to get to the point where there is no one that needs ministering to. That ideally we get to a point where we are so evolved that we get together for events like this simply for the family. Not for the, I don't need to be inspired, Ray. I know that I'm it. I know that the light is like that. That's my ultimate goal, getting as many of us as possible to the point where we don't need prayer because we know that our thoughts are prayers. And we know that so grounded in the truth of, I know who and what I am, that I can speak a word of healing. Matter of fact, I don't even need to speak a word of healing because I know that there is nothing that needs to be healed because I already know the truth. That's what I'm aiming toward because I'm ready to retire. So I need your assistance. I need your assistance in helping to shift the consciousness of the planet so Ray can go to Disney World. Now, let's move on. Just saying. I want to put that out there. So recently I heard there's a minister that I know, Rev Jim Walker, and he was talking about, I'm sorry, I probably should start, I'm sorry. I don't do baseball. I don't do most organized sports, so I'm sorry my knowledge of, so please do not judge me, because that holds my retirement back. So I don't really know that much about baseball, so when he said this concept, I was like, for real? That really exists? So the idea is, you have the people playing over there, and then there's a wall, right? And I'm sure those of you who know baseball know what I'm talking about. I had to go look it up. So yeah, there's a wall. And you're here, and the ball goes click, and the ball's flying. And people don't run this way, they run this way. And so they don't run into the wall. There's a change in the ground so that they know carpet, 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 solid, hardwood floor, I'm getting ready to hit the wall. And they know it's a warning spot that I'm getting ready to run against this and I should probably either slow down or let the ball go. I was like, wow, that's an interesting concept. Because could we ever play baseball in that space that is only the warning track? Like I have from this point to the wall, and that's why I try to play the entire game. So home plate and all that stuff is way over there, where Liz, like is way over there. But I'm playing right here. Can't do that, right? Because I need the plates, and I need the pitcher's mound is over there. I need that part of the field. But there are a lot of us who are living our lives on the warning track. Like we are walking around in our regular everyday lives waiting for the wall. Like we are expecting, I'm going to hit the wall. But you're nowhere near, but I'm going to hit it sooner or later. Sooner or later, it's going to happen. The one shoe drop, the other one's going to. And we live from that place of expecting the bad stuff to happen. And not even doesn't have to be the bad stuff, but it's the other stuff, the undesirable stuff. But what if we learned how to change the rules of the game? What if we stopped engaging life the way we've been conditioned or domesticated into engaging life? So last Sunday I was at Unity on the River in Amesbury, Massachusetts, right? And they're reading a book and discussing a book called the Zen Commandments. And one of the things in the book, the author goes into saying that life should be lived as if you are a jazz musician. That life should be... Figured like that. That life is meant to be improvised, improvisational, always in the moment. Because the moment we try to control the music, it's no longer jazz, it's classical. It's something that is regimented in a way that jazz is not. And we try to structure our lives in ways that are very regimented. I'm planning for the unexpected. How? Well, I'm planning for the worst case scenario, and if the worst case scenario happens, I've already planned for it, and if the worst case scenario doesn't happen, then hey, it's all gravy. But I'm planning for the bad stuff in some way, shape, or form. Now, how can we plan for things to happen? Because things happen. Hurricanes happen. Life happens. So how do we plan for it without the fear, the worry, or the dread that sometimes comes with it? Is it possible to be so in the moment that when, and I'm going to use this word, when a disaster happens, it's not disastrous to us? So I've been using the example lately of an ER doctor. And an ER doctor preps and prepares for all manner of things. And they never know what's going to come into the ER. But whatever comes in, they attend to it from a detached state of mind. In the Japanese, there's this concept called Mushin, nomindedness, meaning my mind is not attached to this thing. Are we willing to lose our minds, to gain our mind? Lose our minds, meaning the lowercase self mind, the human mind, the mind that gets attached to the circumstance or situation. The mind that gets so caught up in who I am that I can only see individuals and never see God in many forms. In order to be able to do that, in order to namaste and truly mean it, I have to get to a point where I'm willing to lose my mind. Or loose my mind. Let that aspect of the human mind, let it go. But it means doing what the samurai trained to do, which was die daily. And we don't like that word. We don't like the concept. But we're already doing it. There is some aspect of renewal happening all the time right now. Some of us shed hair, we sometimes get them back, we sometimes don't. That's a death. Sometimes, like skin falls off, and new skin, that's death and then life, and then death and then life. So we already are dying daily. And check this out. We just heard special music, right? And we heard Steph playing beautifully. If they both came up and played the exact same song, is it the same song? No matter how many times you hear, I don't care how many times you hit your iPod and hit play again and again and again, it's never the same song twice, even when it's recorded. And the reason it's never the same song twice is because you are never the same person twice. Every moment is isolated to be that one moment. This is the only time in all of history, in all of creation, that we will be together the way we are right now. This will never happen again. No matter how we try to recreate it, this moment, this breath, this word will never be repeated in the exact same way. And I can stand there and I can say, hello, my name is Raymont. Hello, my name is Raymont. Hello, my name is Raymont. And none of them are the same. Even when I'm saying the same thing, they're not the same thing because it's not the same breath. It's always different. But we cling to, and we try to live from that tiny little narrow area to play it safe. Life is not meant to be played safe. Life is meant to be lived passionately, all out. So, the challenge is, the invitation is, are we really willing to do what we would need to do individually to shift, to let go of that? Because I've been asking people lately, if wherever you go to get your over-the-counter stuff, right? Whether it's aspirin, vitamins, wherever it is that you go to get it. Suppose tomorrow they started stocking shelves with one single pill. And this one single pill would alleviate, heal everything. Financial woes, you take the pill, you're a millionaire if that's what you want. You take the pill and that pain in your back is gone. The pain in your wherever is gone. The relationships, whatever that, take the pill and you either get the love of your life or you let them go if that's what needs to happen. Like whatever it is, this pill is the thing that will do it. How many people would be in line tomorrow morning to get that pill? And what if it was an extreme amount of money? What would people be willing to do to raise the money, to save the money, to buy the pill, to feel like the house that Jack built? Like, how many people would do what they need to do to get the money, or save the money, to buy the pill, to take the pill, to heal their life, to live happy and joyous lives? I would venture to say many. People would, look, hey, I'm going to sell my house. I don't mind, I'll live in the tree. I need the money because I got to buy the pill. Like, people would do strange things to be able to secure this. But the great thing is, new thought is that pill. We have a philosophy, a way of living that brings joy and health and well-being and healing and love. We have a teaching that restores a dead life, a life of whether it's addiction or loneliness or ego, that's death. It's not life-affirming. And we have a philosophy that restores that life into that dead carcass. That carcass that goes around its... Gotta make the donuts. Like that person isn't alive. They're not living. And I know that was over a whole bunch of people's heads. There are some young folks in there like, what? YouTube. You go YouTube. Gotta make the donuts. You'll get it. Anyhow. Just saying. But there are so many people, and it's not us, but it's people we know. We know people who wake up every day and do the same stuff day in and day out and day in and day out. The same old stuff. They go to the same restaurants because it's safe. I know what they serve. They eat the same foods because I've had this before, so I know it's good. They hang around with the same friends, even when some of those friends are not real friends, but they're safe. The devil you know is far kinder than the devil you don't know. So we trust the known. Like there's a story, this person had to go, they're being executed, and they go out there and they're standing there and they're like, okay, I'm ready. And the executioner says, okay, these are your options. Firing squad, death by hanging, lions, or what's behind the door. And the person says, just shoot me and get it over with. And so they get shot and they die. And then one of the other people who was an executioner in training came up and said, what's behind the door? And they said, go open it. It'll be okay, just open it. And they open it and it's freedom. People don't try what we don't know. We are afraid of the unknown. But see, so when do we get to this point of embracing everything that life possibly could mean? Completely. Which means feeling the fear and doing it anyway. It means risking that I may not like this person or they may not like me. It means risking that I may not get this job or I may get fired from this job or the job may not be what I really wanted. How many times in history can we identify someone who did great things? Mother Teresa, great things. Martin Luther King Jr., great things. Jesus, great things. Gandhi, great things. And people hated them. Nonetheless, I'm thinking, Hey, what's your name? Jesus. Okay. What are you doing? Water into wine? Ha ha! My new best friend. Like, I would figure people would want him around. But there were people who were like, he thinks he's the son of God. We need to kill him. He raising people from the dead and feeding people. So we get rid of them. Why? Because it scares us to know that we are being challenged to step up our game. The reason Jesus scared people is because Jesus said, I did this, and so can you, and even greater. That's my lesson. And love everybody. Not just love your friends, because that's easy. Love the people who hate you. And people are like, oh, dude, you need to die. You lost your mind. That's why. Because he was challenging us to grow and evolve to an all-new level of being. And it scares us. Wait a minute, I just thought about it. Is that what I'm doing right now? Wait a minute. Okay, we're done. Wait a minute. It just clicked into my mind. Okay, let us breathe. No, but seriously. So is that what it is? When we get challenged to that point, when life is now uncomfortable, a relationship is uncomfortable, conflict is now possibly going to show up. Whoa, I don't like conflict. But conflict can be a great thing when you approach conflict from a state of mind that says, I know that this chunk of coal, through the pressure of, becomes a diamond. That's conflict. I know that when someone says something that pushes my buttons, they're actually offering me a gift. That it's not them hurting me, even though they may be attempting to. It's nothing to do with it. The fact that someone could say something to me, and hurt my feelings, has nothing to do with what they're saying. It has to do with the filters in my own consciousness that receive what they're saying. Like I've said to many people, that if someone said, Alejandro, you know, I've seen a whole lot of Japanese cranes in my life. And you're probably the tallest Japanese crane I've ever seen. Many of you can't see the way he's looking at me right now, but he's looking at me like, what? Because it makes no sense. But I guarantee you that there are people that if you were to say something just as ludicrous, you're stupid. It's now personal. You're not skilled or talented or happy, like you're not this. And we take it and we make it our truth. Rather than it being just as nonsensical as that. Are we willing to step up our game and know the truth for ourselves so that wherever we go, that truth must be with us? I've been reading this book called Blessed Are the Weird. A manifesto for creatives. And there's one thing in there that I would like to share with you. Why are y'all laughing? Are you laughing because it seems like a book that I would be reading or something? That's the way that it felt. So on page 13, leave me alone. So on page 13, the author says, the art of living is to fall in love with life over and over again. It is no easy thing to walk through the world with an open heart, embracing everything, and also stand true, allowing no poison to infect us, but be cracked open often. Pour yourself into life, withholding nothing. Heal and be healed. This is the way of living in full. Allowing ourselves to be cracked open. Allowing ourselves to be vulnerable. Because it is in being vulnerable that we gain strength. There's this Japanese art called Aikido. And the person basically stands there. And the person runs or punches or charges, and the Aikidoist simply moves. Redirects their energy and sends them away. Now, there are other martial arts that if you run at them, they kick you to stop you in your tracks. But the Aikidoist says, it is my highest art of peace that says, simply move out of your way. Because in the moving and redirecting, I'm not hurt, and I don't hurt you. So even though you're trying to hurt me, I don't want to hurt you. But I am willing to be open to that. So when someone insults you, are you willing to repay the insult with love? And that doesn't mean the person says, you're stupid, you're stupid, you're stupid. I love you. Doesn't mean that. But it means what you hold in your heart is not the poison. It means what you hold in your heart is an idea that says, the only reason that they're doing that, the only reason that someone could want to hurt me is because they're hurting. Because no rational person living from a state of truth would have any reason to hurt, harm, hinder another human or animal. There's no reason to. And there's this movement now where people are saying, you know, we don't have to kill animals to make leather shoes anymore. We can make a synthetic leather, synthesized kind of leather. Some are making it out of mushrooms, some are making it out of some other stuff, but it's organic stuff, but it's synthetic. It's not real leather. It's not from dead animals. And there are people who are like, no, I want my leather. But if we can give you, you don't know the difference. You're going to taste it. What does it taste like? It's Pepsi. No, it's not. It's Coke. You can't tell the difference. You're not going to know the difference between this either. Then why are you so willing and desiring of death for a pair of shoes or a belt, when I can give you the exact same thing without the death? Because somewhere in that person's mind, their consciousness, their egoic state of being, the trained human mind, they believe it's what it's always been. It's what it has to always be. That's why I cannot see a world that works for the good of all. It's never worked before. World peace is impossible. If it was possible, it would have happened before. Women can't rule anything because if they could, they would have done it before. It's how it's always been. It's how it always should be. Really? 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 Because there was a time when slavery was regular. There was a time when women couldn't vote or work. Barefoot, pregnant, and in the kitchen was it. That was the only option. There was a time when it was, if someone knew you were gay, you automatically broke the law. You didn't even have to do anything except walk out of your house. Oh, gay, kill him, lock him up, throw away the key. For what? Because he's gay. That's it. What did he do? Nothing. That's the way it was. Are we willing to evolve past what was to step into what can be, knowing that there is an infinite possibility? Once we leave the warning field, once we leave that place of comfort and ease and what I know already, I already know what it's going to be. I already know what it's going to taste like. I already know what it sounds like. I already know. This I don't know. I don't like that. What is that? What is that? French fry? I don't eat French food. It's a potato. No, ain't no potato I ever tasted look like that. Imagine what we are giving up by stifling the creativity that God wants to be in us, through us, and as us. But we have to be willing to surrender. We have to be willing to let go of one season and turn. Turn our mind, turn our consciousness, turn to the divine plan, the divine spark of creation. Turn to that, because it's already within us. We wouldn't be here otherwise. The fact that you are here in this body says that you are good. It says that you are holy. It says that you are love made flesh. But you have to accept that. You have to be willing to live from that place, because no one can do it for you. So let's let go of the known. Let's let go of what's always been. Let's let go of what we've always expected and start expecting good. Start expecting Murphy's Law to mean what was good is good and can always be greater and better. Why don't we make that the new level of Murphy's Law? Not, if something can go wrong, it usually will. One shoe will drop it. No, that is not the divine law that I want to follow. The divine law that I want to follow is like Emma Curtis Hopkins said, God is my good, and my good is God. They are one and the same, two sides of this, two words and linguistic of the same coin. It's what is. So my new law is, good is. And it is ever getting better. With each breath. Because I can't live this breath again. So it's good now. And it's better now. And it's even better now. And even better now. And so it is.
Yes.